1 minute, yeah?
Yes, it is. It is recorded, yeah. So again, a very good evening, greetings to all. We are starting with our food and family immunity, how it helps us. So as we explained earlier, the food and the thought forms, what we put in and what we put in our thought, it decides our hormones and also the overall well-being of us. So we discussed about gustatory, olfactory and tactile. When they have hypersensitivity, then they have difficulty to take food in, and this means that brain is receiving too much of this particular sensory input from the sensory receptors. So when we give food which they are not able to take in, then they exhibit behavior, and that in fact it helps, disturbs it, no, it doesn't help them in their overall progress in life. And when proper oral motor stimulation is given, it all for food intervention, the speech also develops, and speech intervention also progresses, and the person is able to express their needs, and behavior modification happens, and then the compliance of task, on-seat behavior, and more learning happens, and then this in fact it gives a good cognitive growth and development and holistic development. Young people who appear to seek more proprioceptive input, like receptors in muscle, ligaments, and joint, they may seek out harder food types that require additional stowing. This also helps them to self-regulate by activating reticular formation in the brain stem, and can have a calming effect on arousal levels like energy levels and emotions. Young people presenting with hypersensitive tactile oral receptors may avoid certain textures of food, or may not like to mix certain food like curd rice or anything mixed with curry. They find it difficult to take. So young people described as like picky eaters, no, my child is choosy eater, picky eater, will usually require a multi-sensory, therapeutic, and behavioral approach. In today's topic, we will be focusing on the sensory aspect. And on Saturday, we also have at 6 p.m. Dubai time, we discuss the food with regard to behavior aspects. So we will be posting that. So parents, those who they play a major role during this intervention. That's why today we have involved the parents to be a part of this, and not only the parent intervention, the home environment, as well as the food which is purchased, that also plays a major role. What type of food is purchased for households? Parental approach, and this when parents are involved in this food intervention, it attributes to the overall holistic development of the family. In order for young people to learn about new food types, the environment should be positive and nurturing. Constant and predictable daily meal plans should be made, and this provides backbone for food intervention. And other intervention may include meal time scheduling, environmental adaptation, identification of safe food types. What type of food, like Dr. Tilakavati, she has mentioned, what types, few food items she has mentioned earlier. The water we drink, the salt we consume, the sugar, what type of sugar has to be taken. So all these factors play a major, the safe food items. And in Vallilar principles in theory, the sage scientist has recommended few food items which promotes ultimate health, optimal health for everyone. So those principles will also be given to you. Then all this will create an intrinsic motivation around eating. When a child is eating, we need to also develop motivate the child, and based on the liking of the child, and also the postural balance, not watching a movie or watching something. No, they have to, the person should be aware about what food they are taking. So that is also very important. This is one of the important criteria for food intervention. Yeah, we are waiting for Dr. Shan. Meanwhile, I'll just, Dr. Tilakavati, has he joined? Is it to join?
I don't see Dr.
Yeah, I'll just.
It's not here yet. Just to add up with the information that you have given, Dr. Pramila,
please.
The meaning of food, if we look into our ancient literature, the meaning of food is the land and the water that we have, where we live, the place we live in, the geographical area. That is more important. Let's say if someone is from a different geographical area, maybe the food that we consume from the other part of world may not be a suitable food. It should be where the food should grow where we live or we are born. Our culturally we are there, and then we are very used to that soil, and this is the meaning of food. So it is advisable that you take food which is grown. The doctor is already here. I think I should stop in a while. Around your geographical area. Okay, thank you. I should leave to Dr. Shan here. He's already here. Okay, Dr. Pramila, you can take over.
Welcome, Dr. Shan.
Welcome, Doctor. Vanakkam.
Your mic, I think audio is.
His mic is on, but can't hear you.
We will, any questions you have in Tamil, you can ask. As we have a mixed audience, that's why we were focusing. And welcome, Dr. Shan. I think he cannot hear us.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
Yes, Doctor. Vanakkam.
I think Doctor,
Yeah. Now I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Welcome, Doctor.
Welcome.
Session. We are waiting for your.
Waiting for you.
Oh, sure. Okay. Well, we can have like a open discussion, food intervention for family immunity. So generally, I used to ask questions, how will you, what type of food you choose, what is the best food, etc. But the thing is that we are forgetting that whatever medicine we are eating is very small part. And how much food we are eating, think about it. Will the body think medicine is different from food? Like body, as if the body knows, so okay, this is medicine, come on, like that. Is that the way the body functions? Or will it consider everything as, the same, finding out, the nutritional value, it converts into nutritional thadukal, the tissues, and then it can psychological effect. So maybe, you should, I think you should focus me, I think.
Yeah, it is. You are pinned.
I'm focused.
Yes, you are pinned.
Okay. Um, so this is one of the things. So the whole idea is that if you look at the way our Siddha, our culinary practices are back in India, it's really amazing the way they've designed certain things. For example, you eat greens, all the leaves, green leaves, etc. So how do we eat? We don't eat like salad, not like salads. Why didn't we eat like salads, like animals? Animals eat like salad type, right? But we don't eat. In India, we don't eat salad. Only when we came to the West, I know about salads, right? So why? There's a big question. Why? No. So that is the Siddha way. So Siddha uses two things. Main is, one is a carrier, a medium. It's like a arrow and a bow and an arrow. You need bow and arrow both for the targeting something. Here, the medium is the bow. The arrow is the main medicine which need to be delivered. So, like simple things like for a medium here, for a like a green thing is the oil. You have to saute, oil fry. Oil only can take this, right? The greens need to be taken. So we used to have kali. That is our famous food. We call unde, or like the ragi kali, right? So ragi kali is what you call finger millet ball, you can call it. So that is I'm back in Nilgiris. It's one of the traditional foods, Nilgiris. Kali only, our grandparents who ate only kali mainly. It's a very important food. So if you take kali without knowing how to eat it, right, then it won't digest. You will have a lot of problems. So kali, that traditional knowledge is hidden in each culture. How to eat kali? So kali usually is like, you just put it in your mouth, it is swallowed. There is no biting needed for kali. So all the biting process is done before that, in the way we prepare that. Then the main medium, Kelvarg, right, we call it. So the main medium for taking that kali will be ghee. You do not add ghee, it will not go and reach the place where it needs to. So that the digestion happens. That means the saptatatus, the 7 types of tissues, happen when we eat this, right? So that process happens only when we give the right medium. So medium, the combinations are important. Why they are putting like mustard and other thing, they do the saute part, right? But more than mustard, even jeera is better than mustard. But there's a process. That process protocol is called a process protocol. Why do you do this? Why do you put onion? So that is the process protocol. Even mustard will not be digested very easily. So that's why jeera is recommended. So therefore, one of the thing is that if my mustard thing want to go in, we have to put it in oil, right? So the sauteing process for different vegetables are very important. You have to eat vegetable the way it is. Even things such as done in naturopathy are not very, very much Indian, you know. So the naturopathy process and all are like drinking juice and all are not for all vegetables. You can do that. You know, certain things only can be done unless protocol is known. Oh, I am finding new thing. You know, what do you new thing you're finding? There's nothing called new thing. So people have found out without knowing the basic of it, right? How the whole component is affecting. In fact, more than this, there is a diet. More than all of the Vata Pitta Kapha based diet, that is the most commonly used diet in the Siddha Ayurveda. But more than that, astronomical diet. That is like really, really working out very well. An astronomical diet would be when you're born with a certain percentage of what you call the deposition of cosmic energy from different planets. So each planet will influence you till the end. So if I'm born with say 70% of sun energy, solar energy, and then 30% of the Saturn energy, and then I have 0% of moon and other planets. Say this is my my birth, right? So this planet will influence big time. Say now I have a moon 0. Whenever I have, then if I eat rice, I will definitely have a problem. Rice will not be easily digested. So that planet, whatever component we have, if you align with that component, right, then it's very easy. We can just live with those diet. Avoid the other part, which is very difficult to digest. Even though that particular part, like rice, for example, is a karunai unavu, we call it, compassion. We get compassion, moon's compassion, etc. Then how do we eat that? If you do not do this, so there is a way, you know, if you want to consume those, how do we? There is a meditation process that you do, and then you take little. So that is the way you can. So everything, if you're going against nature, so the whole part of Siddha is to go align with nature, understand the nature, and accordingly you can have your food, right? So the how food is making a medicine is not just many components of what is a medicine. So see, in the modern version, a medicine is nothing but it's like a drug delivery mechanism. You have like the bone arrow, that's all. In modern also there is a bone arrow. It will go there and target a drug delivery, we call it. It is more like real, I could say in ancient science, we cannot call it bow and arrow because it is not targeting to kill. Here, the bow and arrow, this is in ancient, the bow and arrow is to, the arrow will go and have a garland, put on somebody like that. You have seen in the Ramayana and all, like Rama is, doing something on Vali and Vali Sugriva thing, it turns into a garland. Like that, every component, whatever you do, doesn't affect or kill the cell or anything. That is not medicine. That's not the way ancient science works. The modern science, the whole thing is that, okay, you have a person disturbing, remove him. Let him go out of the country. Let us go target the other country. Destroy those people, then you don't have any problems. So this kind of, the whole culture only is reflecting as science and technology. Whatever cultural thing people thought outside, same methodology only they're using for curing stuff. That's what called targeted delivery. If you remove this, oh, if you have cancer cell, you remove, then you'll be fine. You do some surgery. So this is a very wrong concept. The way, the approach is very cultural. So inclusiveness. Now like Pramila ji might appreciate inclusiveness. That's a very important part. Today we have, the Prime Minister, the President, this government is bringing, US government, very important part, equity, inclusiveness, diversity. There is a program also for that. If you take a certification of this, the companies can take a certification, individuals like that. So these are very important. Diversity, equity, inclusion. Same component, everything, So the inclusiveness is very important in the Siddha processing protocol. So you need to, the way we have to do is that embrace people like that. We embrace cells. Some cells are damaged, embrace them. Make part of us. We are bigger, the good part is big. So through epigenetical transformation only, healing happens. So the component in which that just targeting the cell is not the way how Siddha works. Siddha works in different ways. So many components are there in healing. So for example, you're taking some medicine means in Siddha, the mechanism how it is explained. Number one, are some food you're eating, say. So first thing, whether the food is hot or cold. Okay. So you can heat some food and eat, or you can eat it very cold. So first, number one, the body will have an effect. It will have a cold effect or a hot effect. The body becomes cooler or hotter just because of whether it's a hot food or cold food. It will have an independent effect. Cold will take away the fire in our body, Agni we call it. That's the fire needed for digestion. Okay, so usually, mostly recommended is warm food or room temperature only. There is no cold recommended, number one. Second thing is, independent of, say for example, you're eating some dried beans, rajma or something, hot potency, for example, hot potency. But you can eat it cold. A simple example is mango. You make manga curry also, right? So manga is, some things are used both in fruit and curry. That is possible in the, the way we cook, right? Coconut, for example, whether it's a fruit or a vegetable, use both. The same way mango we are using like that, right? Nellikai we use that like that. Some are exceptions, but they have a potency, independent potency. They are hot. If you eat mango, what do we say? Oh, you don't. It is hot for you. Don't eat mango now. You have to add cucumber. It will be cooling down, for example, right? Apple is cooling down. Example I'm telling you. These are not the apple and all is not the best fruit now. So, but the cooling heating is independent of whether we are eating it hot or cold. And vegetables, whether you eat or hot or cold, they have an independent effect. It will warm the body or cool the body. So this is number two. Number three, even without eating, when the food touches the tongue, it will have an therapeutic effect. For example, you are a taster. I am a chef. So the chef will taste all the different foods, but he is not eating. Some people are, some moms, they are vegetarians, but they have to cook non-vegetarian for their kids. They are not changing. But then they will lick and see. They're not eating, but they say whether, you have salt or how tasty it is. They just lick and see. So that licking has an effect. The moment it touches the tongue, whether you eat it or not, it will have a therapeutic effect based on the transformation. What is the transformation? The taste transformation. Based on 6 types of taste, it will have an independent effect in our body. Therapeutic effect. Say if you're eating spicy, the spice is more, immediately you can get anger. Immediately you can get rid of cold. So taste itself has an independent effect without the food going in. That food will have another effect. After it goes in, food will convert into 7 types of tissues. Some food will contribute to some other one tissue more. Another food will contribute to some other tissues. Next, the food will have food will affect a particular organ. Every food will affect 2 to 3 organs, not just one organ. So particular food are eaten to affect certain organs in our body, right? And then the food finally is converted into mind. So based on where you source the food, etc., all the recordings will be there about the food. How you source the food and what kind of food, whether guna based food is like, it has different gunas. Those gunas will affect the mind, psychological aspect. So food is not like ordinarily you can eat anything, simply eating and filling the stomach like that. It tastes good, it's yummy and all this stuff. All those are really, really, due to habit. We have acquired of this kind of thing just because of habit. We thought food is fun. Food is not fun. Food is for creating energy. Why do we need food? Battery charge, battery is completely depleted. You want more charge. So food is a way you convert that into energy. If you're eating the wrong type of food, energy will not be converted, food will be accumulating in our body. So you will only have a bigger body, your body will grow. It will convert into tissue. It will not convert into energy. Remember these things. And it will accumulate ama. Ama is the toxins in our body. So you will have a bigger body, everything is good, looks good, you look great from outside, but then you will have problem from inside. So that's the difficult part. So therefore, you have to be very, very careful in choosing. Not just food is like ordinarily, like how the Western, the nutrition theory talks about. You can eat anything, then you take medicine, all this crap. It's a really wrong understanding of nutrition theory. You have to completely come out of ban these theories. Ban, completely ban. There's no inclusiveness here. You cannot include. Because it's the whole concept is wrong. It's a very wrong concept. So where you need inclusion, you need to understand. So somewhere there is elimination needed. Our body itself, elimination is needed. Right? Some component we eliminate only. No matter what. So like that, certain every aspect we shouldn't just follow blindly all nutrition theory and all. So all nutrition theories like protein, all these things, carbohydrates, all are very wrong. Absolutely wrong. Why you can, simple understanding, you understand. Why you can ask this question, whether, say I ask you, everybody, oh, you need animal protein for living. 60% of people are living vegetarians. India, for the population, it's huge. right? I mean, they've been living for thousands of years. People continued with vegetarian type of food. Evolution process. Animals don't eat. How do they get rabbit and deer? They get protein. How do such animals? They think about elephant, hippos, rhinos. They are like so huge. Elephant, you look at so huge. Where do they get their proteins? And calcium also. Bones are strong. And they don't eat any calcium tablets. I'll pop up some calcium tablets. Or they don't want milk another animal and drink. Oh, elephant, go to cow and milk and drink. They don't have any problems. Why you think that human beings have to, be like this? This is just a habit. You made an habit and you cannot come out of habit. So we'll design our, see your desire. First you desire, you achieve the desire. You build a house, you don't have money, you build a house, and then you're saying reasoning. You first make the money, then build the house. You build the house and then you say reasoning, oh, I did this, I rolled up this money and all these things like that. You made an habit and then you give reason, oh, what I did was right. Substantiate what you did was right. Right? With oh, okay, then you do this. That is how the science was built. What is right? You understand first. What kind of house is needed for you, for your budget, right? So our body needs a different type of things. So accordingly, you design the science, not just because you like, want, and need. You like something and then you eat, and then you will say, oh, this is all right. Whatever you're eating, you have to eat protein, like because you have got used to this. These are all wrong concepts. So food is not just about health alone in the physical body. Mind is very important. Whole mind, whole life, you have to keep the mind in calmness. For that, food is important. So I can keep on going, but I'll open for questions. So yeah.
Thank you.
Major problems, all like autistic problems, you say, all mandam, other brain related problems are caused in the gut. Yes, no. Every problem is mostly caused in the gut only. There will be relationship, but mostly brain related are connected with the gut. Yes.
Thank you, doctor. That was a wonderful presentation. And you have given the tips and more more.
You can bring any doctors, anybody, experts you bring. I will ask few questions. If they answer me, I'm ready to accept. Okay, you ask me questions. Without knowing the science, you cannot. Without knowing one, you cannot compare and you say this is wrong. You understand this and then you compare. Okay, which is better? Without knowing one science, how do you say this is better? Right? So it's a very advanced science and technology. Is there? Is our ancient culture. It belongs to the whole world. It's not limited to any tradition or culture. Yeah. So that is inclusiveness. Right? Yadu Mure Yavarum Kelira. These are some things that inclusiveness, their principles, they talked of more than 3,000, 4,000 years, they talk about, inclusiveness. It's already there. Now only Biden government is talking about this inclusiveness.
Yes, everywhere there is inclusion.
It's a world culture.
Doctor, can you hear us?
It's a very commonly applied culture.
I think he cannot hear us.
Okay, so what is the question?
Can you hear us, doctor? Doctor, can you hear us? No, I don't think so. He can hear.
Doctor, can you hear
questions?
us?
Doctor, can you hear us? I don't think so.
Looks like I
don't think.
I can't hear. Nobody has a question. I don't know what happened.
We are speaking. You can't hear.
open another speakers.
Can you hear now?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Are you able to hear us?
Doctor, can you hear us?
We are
Doctor,
talking. We are talking. Can you hear us?
Yes, now I can hear. Suddenly
Oh,
something
okay.
happens.
That's good.
I think the problem, I'm not doing anything. It's happening, you know, just like that. I think the Zoom has some problem. Zoom has some
Okay.
problems, I think.
So
Okay, right.
thank you, sir, doctor. That was a wonderful session. You said food also has a very close relation to the mind and brain. And most of the conditions, neurodevelopmental disorders and other so-called disabilities, which we are the parents of people of determination, they face, food intervention will play a major role in that. So we are looking more in detail about individualized interventions as well. And also the food, where to get the right type of food from which wherever they stay. In Malaysia, they can approach Valalar Mission, Charitable Mission Malaysia. And in US, they can approach Siddhaveda. In UAE, they can approach Siddhaveda Vaikunta. So anything related to food, after attending your session, people will, all our audience will have more awareness on what to eat, what the safe food to eat. And also we can procure that, source it out for them. So any questions, our audience, if you have, kindly ask. You can have the platform is open, and you can ask, you can unmute your mic and ask questions. You can ask your questions in Tamil also. Tamil kekla. Sister, recording when I stop.
Okay.
Recording is stopped. So you are open to ask your questions in English, Tamil, or whichever. These two languages we follow. So you can ask in these anything related to food. Eliasker, you can unmute your mic and ask. Kausalya. I saw a few participants from Dubai.